Chukky Okobi back with more basic instructions, mind mastery. I wonder if you ever noticed how hearing certain words can trigger feelings deep inside, create certain images in your mind, like how hearing certain words gives you an idea or an image in your mind of what you'd consider career and business success. Thinking certain words to yourself, and you can instantly envision what it would feel like to have that kind of success for yourself. Now, basic instructions, mind mastery, executive coaching, the foundation is an NLP, which stands for neurolinguistic programming. Neuro refers to your neurology, your brain or your human mind. Linguistics refers to language and communication, and programming refers to how that language functions in your neurology, how words affect the way our human minds function. So for me as a trainer and a master practitioner of NLP, my passion in what I do professionally is in connecting business leaders to the power of language and words, how they can be the absolute best communicator they could possibly be. Now, names are words too, am I right? Think about it. You hear certain names and these words evoke thoughts of greatness. Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, Tony Robbins, Steven Spielberg. They all use NLP, right? I bet in your mind right now, you can hear that inner voice saying, heck yeah, I'd like that kind of success in my career, picturing what life would look like for you, wealth, health, and happiness. All of a sudden, I'm asking myself, what is the difference between people like me and Tony Robbins? I mean, seriously, what's stopping me? Can I have that Oprah Winfrey, Steven Spielberg, Super Bowl level success in my career? You absolutely can create that same level of success in your life. It's just like Coach Bill Cowher once pointed out to me back when I was on the Steelers. He pointed out that for all of us, everyone, we don't know what we don't know. There are things in our world that we are unaware of, certain aspects of how we approach and create success that many of us have just never considered because we didn't know about it. That means we never noticed this opportunity right now to consider it. Let's go deeper. I'll explain. It gets deep. Because language and words are some crazy powerful stuff. You probably never thought about this, but you already knew this deep down. You ever notice how language is a tool only used by human beings? And words have the ability to take us on a roller coaster ride all over the emotional spectrum. Hearing words can bring us down to the deepest depths of despair. And at the same time, hearing these words now can make you feel incredibly good, bring us to the heights of happiness, fulfillment, passion. You can relate to this, I'm sure. I mean, just think about the lyrics to your favorite song, or when I heard her say yes when I asked my wife to marry me, or the joy of hearing dad when your baby uttered their first word. Think about those moments right now. Feels really good, doesn't it? You remember back far enough in history, and you'll recognize that words and magic at one time were considered the exact same thing. Abracadabra, right? Words are magic. That's why we call it spelling. Words are the means by which we influence our fellow humans, are they not? I know, you're probably wondering, yeah, but what does learning about words have to do with my company or career? Giving perspectives from my experience, I'd say that the words we use have everything to do with success in business. See, back when I first started learning about and applying NLP in college, I had this dream of going pro in football, and looking back in time at the results I eventually achieved in the NFL, I recognize that if I want to change what's going on around me in my life and in my career, I have to start with what's going on within me, taking control of my thoughts and my emotions by being intentional about the words I use to speak to myself. I was genuinely surprised to discover how my emotions and my words when I spoke to myself inside have a much deeper impact on my career and business success. So it brings to mind a word that came up in a discussion the other day when I was networking here with other entrepreneurs, business leaders, startup founders here in Kansas City where I live. They kept saying the F word. And every time I heard this dirty word spoken, I was aware of the discomfort that the word evoked inside, the negative emotions that we all associate with this F word. It makes me wonder, each of us has control over the words we use to express ourselves. Can't we think of a better word to use than that F word? Forgive me. Let me point out something and go even deeper. The F word I'm referring to isn't the F word that you're probably thinking of. This F word is a word that's commonly used to describe situations and circumstances we find ourselves in that we'd rather not be in. When you hear others use it as they describe someone, maybe even themselves, using the F word as an adjective to describe how they're doing in their career. It's not the F word you're thinking of. The F word I'm referring to right now is the word failure. Now, some people think failure is a good word in business. They say things like fail fast or embrace failure. Now, is failure good or bad? Think about this. I recognize that good and bad are not truths, they're judgments. So who knows? Personally, thinking about the word failure, I'm just simply not a fan. I just feel deep down there are better ways, better words to express ourselves in the exact same situation. Think about it. Choose a different word, create a different effect in the mind, evoking different emotions inside. Here's something maybe you never considered. This F word, failure, it just describes a feeling. It's a feeling that we experience when we have a plan to achieve an outcome. It's how we feel when things don't go the way we planned or envisioned when we started. I just know when I think of the word failure or I think about failing in my career, it's not a good feeling. It's a word related to frustration, disappointment, regret. None of those emotions are helpful in getting what I desire. I mean, just like the big F word, it can evoke negative emotions, and those feelings simply are not useful in my business. It's really funny because there's a different F word that I could use in the exact same situation that would literally change everything in the moment. If I used a different F word when things don't go my way, my professional future instantly begins to look brighter, and the emotions of frustration and regret are instantly replaced by a deep sense of hope and optimism. The F word you want to use instead of failure is feedback. Think about it. It's not failure, it's just feedback. There is no such thing as failure, it's only feedback. When we don't get our desired result and we're looking at the outcome we have in this moment, it's not what I thought it would be. Realize that this result is still valuable. It's just feedback on my plan. I'm sure you'd agree, feedback is very important and useful in career development. So switching to using this F word, feedback, instead, feedback turns a negative situation instantly to a positive one. Feedback gives us an opportunity to stop, take a deep breath in, and evaluate the effectiveness of our plan of action. Recognize that maybe I miscalculated or underestimated certain things, or maybe I missed something along the way that now I'm conscious of. That means now feedback gives me an opportunity to make adjustments to my approach, refocus on the desired outcome, take new actions to achieve it, and next time, achieve exactly what I set out to do. Think of it like this. Looking at where we are and realizing that we're not where we'd like to be is simply feedback. One thing I notice when I think about myself in that same situation that I used to label failure, calling it feedback actually means that I'm getting closer to my goal. In this moment right now, I'm learning how I can improve my approach to success, identify where I may have gone off course, and learning what adjustments I need to make, what actions I need to take to achieve my desired result next time. I imagine that you're probably thinking about one change now that you're going to make as it pertains to making your career dreams your reality. Maybe you're beginning to realize that the words we use don't describe our reality, they actually create it. With all that said, you might want to consider getting rid of one F word in your vocabulary and using the other F word from now on. Remember, there's no such thing as failure. That's the F word, that's the dirty one. Choose your words wisely. There's no such thing as failure, only feedback. Success is simple if you know the basic instructions of mind mastery.